Hello, it's Dan with Cats and Camo. We're back on the range with the CZ P-09 Duty. So I've got 10 in it. We've got 9 targets. We're going to double tap the torso on the left, shoot the 5 zombie heads, and then double tap the torso on the right. So I've got 10 rounds to pull off 9 shots. The CZ P-09 Duty. Going off.
It's my turn to shoot the CZ9 on my little course here.
The P-09. Very large handgun for a very small girl. You are loaded but not chambered.
Yeah. Get it?
Yes, you hit it right near the top where the handle is. Again.
Oh my gosh. Woo!
Well done.
Woo! What hit me?
You're good. It's just the soda. Nice. Did you just go 5 for 5?
I like it.
Yeah, you do.
Little girl like the gun.
Give that back. Little girls can't have this.
Alright everyone, we are back from the range with our CZ P-09.
Sorry, I need another moment. I had fun. This gun was made for me. Okay, that was my moment. All right, we're going to talk about the gun. We took it out to the range, we put it through its paces. We're going to judge the gun. We're going to score the gun. We rate our guns on 8 different categories, 1 through 5. We're going to start off with comfort of grip. This gun, I joke all the time, this one was made for me. This is a large frame gun, and it's narrow, but it's still a large grip, but it's comfortable. This extended beaver tail fits right on the back. The gun just kind of molds itself to you. I really liked it. Just a tiny bit narrow for me. I'm giving it a 4 though.
Since the gun is fairly large, and you can kind of guess made for larger hands, there were some areas that weren't necessarily exceptional for me. It was comfortable to hold, yes, but in some cases bulky, or there was a little extra where I didn't necessarily need it. So because of that, I'm just going to give it a 3 out of 5.
Let's talk about the sights. The sights glow. Luminous. It's very cool. And it's kind of an extra. Just shooting it outside during the daylight, I found the sights to be really nice for all that they're a little small for a gun this size. That front sight, it's easy to pick up as you bring it on target. I gave it a 4.
Well, until I shoot in the dark, in the night, where night sights or luminous sights are going to come into play, which I'm not saying I'm ready for anyway, so nobody get too excited out there because I don't even trust myself at this point. But for shooting in the daylight, they seemed standard. They seemed industry standard, what you would expect from sights. So 3 out of 5.
Let's talk about the trigger. I really like the trigger on this gun, and I keep saying I really like it. Should have extra emphasis. But being hammer fired, you can shoot the gun in single action or double action mode. And single action, it just drops. It's butter. I'm giving it a 4.
Being someone who's only shot it in single action and not in double action, I've only got one thing to compare it to, and that is the industry standard, which it met my expectations. It did what it was supposed to do. It wasn't too hard to pull. It wasn't too long of a pull. It just seemed to fire when I wanted it to fire. So 3 out of 5.
Well, let's talk about perceived recoil. There is no recoil. This is like shooting a 22, but it makes you can still tell it's more than a 22, so you get that little bit of a smile because you know you're shooting something. But there's no recoil. It just sits in your hand. It is a wonderful sensation, even though it's an oversized gun for smaller shooters, for how they hold it. It's still comfortable and pleasant for them to shoot. I'm giving it a 5.
I actually did like the recoil in this gun. I'm not giving it a 5, but it was it was better than I expected. It was less of a recoil than I was expecting, and for that reason I'm giving it a 4 out of 5.
Let's talk about accuracy. I loved shooting this gun. I did fine. I felt like I did fine on the paper shooting section, but doing the steel challenge with the knockdown plates, it almost seemed like I was cheating. Like maybe I'd taken 2 or 3 steps closer to the target because you just lined it up, you put the front sight on it, and boom, the plate went down. It was really easy to shoot that way. I give it a 5 on accuracy.
Something that does seem to be consistent is I will be up and down, like I'm getting it center all the time,
right.
But and so they're not wide out this way. I'm always hitting center something, whether it's the head, the throat, or the but
or the
But one of the things that really went above and beyond was when I got to shoot this on my course. I went 5 for 5. I felt like a badass. It was so cool. But throwing in that long distance, still not being completely accurate in that category, I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Let's talk about ease of reload. You notice it's flush fit. It's not extended beyond the bottom of past the grips to squeeze in more rounds. It's that long, but it still drops clean. And putting the next magazine in and dropping the slide is a really easy, effortless thing to do. Major props to CZ for this as well. I'm giving them a 4.
A couple times it seemed to stick a little bit. Other times it dropped clean. So for that reason, I'm going to just even it out in the middle and give it a 3. So sometimes it was good, sometimes it wasn't. But 3 out of 5 seems accurate.
Let's talk about reliability. This gun ate everything we put through it. I set Allie up. She doesn't always she very seldom gets to shoot these guns first. So you're getting the first time she shot is on camera with these guns. I spend more time with the guns, and I say it eats everything. I speak English very goodly. I'm giving it a 4.
For reliability, when this comes to short range for me, I would totally rely on this gun. I think it's a great gun to pick up and go bam bam and you're going down. But for long distance, I wouldn't necessarily. I mean, I'd still probably pick it up and try to hit a couple things, and in the long run, I think it would hit my target eventually. But for that reason, I gave it just a 4 out of 5.
All right, let's talk about ease of maintenance and cleaning. You saw there's an extra step involved here. There's a piece that comes out and you have to use the magazine to push the tab to get it to come out. While that does slow down taking the gun apart, it doesn't complicate it. It's a safety feature. So I can actually, even though it's a mildly annoying, so I want to just take it apart and clean it and be done with it, I'm actually fine with that part. And I'm just going to give it a 3 as an industry standard because it's still easy.
Mildly annoying. I do not want to use one part of my gun to take apart the other part of my gun. That just seems stupid. So, it seems unnecessary. You couldn't have come up with another way to push the button in? You gotta use the magazine? What? Come on, guys. 2 out of 5. Shame on you.
Harsh, and she was so happy a moment ago. Alright, let's tally up our scores. Once we get done with the addition, you're going to find that I gave the gun 33.
For me, even though there were several categories that I did have high praise for, it came out above average at 26.
I'm looking for more CZs to shoot. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, send me something else to review. That should be good enough. We gave them our totals. Mm-hmm. We liked it. She liked it, even though she didn't give it really good scores. I think she's still just angry about having to push that tab at the corner of the magazine.
It's pointless. It's stupid. Anyways, with that aside, that's all the time that we have for today. And if you liked this video, please point those crosshairs at the like button down below. And stay tuned for more episodes coming soon. See you then.